And we're live. We're here at the 2026 Texas, Louisiana EHS Seminar and Industry Trade Show. I'm with Melissa Wolkenhauer with Industry Business Roundtable. Melissa, what's happening? What do you think of the show?
It's been amazing. There's so much hard work that goes into this show, but seeing it all come together like this has been outstanding. I love working with the EHS committee that puts this on and the TCC staff that helps to put it together. And it's just such a great way of, again, how IBR does. We focus on collaboration. So this is...
Let's talk about it. Melissa, IBR has long been focused on collaboration across industry. What is the most important thing now and maybe today than ever before?
Not reinventing the wheel, like working together with people and not trying to work against each other and change things too much. Like, go with your strategies, build those relationships that you already have, and focus on that right now because there's not a lot of time, there's not a lot of workforce around, so you need to make sure you're focusing on quality and efficient work.
Makes sense. So what are some of the biggest challenges that you're hearing with companies? I mean, y'all do a lot with the contractor community. You touch into the owners. Talk a little bit about that. What are some of the biggest challenges you're hearing out there?
Biggest one is definitely workforce development, competing for workers from the data centers and LNG projects. It's rough out there for that. So getting a little more creative and finding new workforce is what's key, and making sure you're retaining who you currently have, which is harder because some of those companies are trying to hike up the rates on paying those people more just to get them off their jobs.
So it's like not only attracting, but then keeping your people, and then incumbent training, like upskilling who you got to, right, to fill that in. So what are you hearing out there? How are some companies doing those things?
Yeah, they're focusing a little bit more on actually starting in the high schools and getting them to start earlier and get them groomed earlier so that they can just go directly into the trades. They've actually gotten feedback that some of the students are more excited to just get into the workforce immediately so that they don't even have all the college debt. They could just already start getting paid and potentially retire earlier. And so it's an exciting thing.
Yeah, you can make the argument that, what takes someone who graduated from college 10 years to recover, these kids can come and really win financially in the next 2 to 3 years, which is impacting a lot of things and driving kids to some alternative education sources other than a 4-year university.
Yeah.
So, Melissa, what trends are emerging across the Gulf Coast and the industry leaders should be paying attention to? You hear anything out there as far as trends?
There's always new technologies. There's always new solutions. So always stay on top of, your CEUs and going to IBR committee meetings, getting out there to trade shows like this. So you're staying to the forefront of what the trends are. But yes, mostly technologies, obviously AI, people are learning how to incorporate that into their everyday lives more than ever, but not avoiding the hands-on work that's really being done in this industry.
Melissa, real quick, talk about your committees, if you would. What are those for folks that maybe aren't familiar with the resources that IBR has?
We have environmental resource, we have crane and rigging, industrial cleaning, workforce development, and our safety culture and leadership. So we have each of those once a month. Industrial cleaning is every other month. But we are always getting new companies, emerging companies to speak and talk about new innovations that they have going on. Even we'll bring in great speakers like John Grubbs, who is here to talk more about safety culture, Rob Fisher. So we're definitely trying to keep you guys on the forefront as much as you can with those committee meetings and staying consistent with that as much as possible.
Safety is so important, Melissa. Productivity matters too. Are you hearing anything about how companies are juggling safety and productivity? I mean, how are they making that work for both?
Being safe is really the efficient way to do it. So just making sure you're always staying up on your safety standards, obviously using companies like the Health and Safety Council to keep productive with it and keep current with all of your safety testing and all of that is always going to be important. But safe work is efficient work and going to help bring costs down all the time.
Well, so we've had all these companies challenged with supply chain. They've been challenged with what's happening globally. What are you hearing about that? Are you hearing anything about people navigating that okay? And how do you guys play a role in that? So.
We are really focused on Gulf Coast region, so making sure that the reciprocity is staying within the Gulf Coast regions, making sure we're always collaborating with other groups like TCA, TCC, Economic Alliance, ECMA. We're always making sure that if we're all working together to serve a greater purpose, then everybody will be able to make the right moves as the changes happen.
Well, it's BIC and IBR have event partnerships. Thank you for that. Let's talk about events. What's coming up for people that want to network?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
We have our best practice seminar coming up on June 18th at Sylvan Beach Pavilion.
we're going to be there.
Yes, they will be here as well, doing some video interviews with some of our best-in-class winners. This is where the best-in-class winners will present their best practices, that what really set them apart and made them win the Safety Excellence Awards this year. It's an extensive process to go through that audit process, but it's worth it. And for everybody to learn from those companies that set the bar really, really high is really important. So we have networking. There will be speeches and presentations from each of those winners, lunch, breakfast, all the fun things. Their sponsorships still available. Then we, of course, have our clay shoot. That is October 8th. So has a little bit of a ways, but that is always a great event.
I love shooting guns.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that. If someone wanted to learn more about IBR and even your events, send them to the place they should go.
Yeah, ibrt.us, our website, or our office is in the Health and Safety Council. So you can always come up 5213 Center Street and find me or Willie or Carla.
Well, I just walk in. Well,
Knock on the door, please.
Well, that's awesome. Listen, y'all are that way, so the people know that, and it's great that y'all are connected to the marketplace. Thank you for our partnership with BIC Magazine. We appreciate you, and thanks for hanging out here at the 2026 Texas Louisiana EH&S Seminar and Industry Trade Show. Thank you, Melissa.
Great to see you as always.
Always.